thumb is, when it comes to platform, if you don't pay for your own platform, you are the platform. You are the product. So sorry, let me take that step back. This saying in Silicon Valley we have is that if you're using a product and you're not paying money, you are the product.
Somebody else is paying money for you.
Yeah. So what that means is, first things first, I don't know if you guys all know this, Instagram is owned by Facebook. Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion. Facebook isn't some, hey, we're gonna make the world, they want to sell advertising, which is fine, because it's still a free service and it's easy for us to keep in touch with family, whatever. Instagram is a marketing advertising platform which happens to put your pictures in between their advertisements. You guys hear the thing about TV shows or stuff? It's like, a TV show is just a space in between the advertisements. So once again, this is not for us to all become cynical, it's for us to know the facts. But it's still a fantastic free way to get your pictures across. So you need to own your own platform. If you do not pay a monthly fee for whatever platform you're using, you are the product and you're kind of being suckered in one way or another. So different platforms like websites, right? You need to pay money for your own website. Practical suggestions I would recommend is 2 websites. One is bluehost.com and the other is oneandone.com. So I use this website called oneandone.com. I kind of wish I didn't use them because they're kind of sleazy marketers, but they're cheap. Okay? Bluehost.com is what I would actually recommend. If I started all over today, to start a website or a blog, it'd be bluehost.com.
Eric, why not Squarespace?
Yeah, what about-
Okay, so I'll tell you why you should not
Yeah,
use
I want to hear
Squarespace.
this.
Okay?
It's gotta be-
My prediction is Squarespace is going to die in the next 40, 50 years. This is my prediction.
So I'll be dead in 40, 50 years.
True.
Okay.
The reason why you do not want to use Squarespace is several reasons. First of all, what I would recommend instead of Squarespace is WordPress. WordPress.org. This is the open source version. So it just ultimately affords you more flexibility, more openness, and you can modify it however you like. So WordPress.org is the more complicated version. If you're not tech savvy, I would just recommend WordPress.com. The best way in today's world to discover it isn't Instagram or Facebook, it's still Google. Okay? If I meet Jennifer and I want to figure her out who she is, I'm going to Google her. Ideally, your goal is the higher up you are in Google ranking, the better. My prediction is Google will be around forever. This is my prediction.
Will or will not?
It will be around forever. This is my prediction. Google owns information, and we are all slaves to Google. Raise your hand if you use Google or Gmail or Google Maps. Okay. WordPress is indexable by Google. Squarespace, it probably is kind of, but not really.
That's huge.
Which is huge. So, in terms of owning your platform, you want to be indexable by Google, which means Google could find you. If Google cannot find you, you do not exist on the internet. Okay? In terms of strategies of getting higher up in Google, the easiest way is through blogging. Okay?
Or how do you do it?
Blogging. Okay? So, blogging 101, there's something called SEO or search engine optimization. Essentially what SEO is, how do you become #1 on Google? And there's all these industries which try to boost your SEO ranking. They're all witchcraft
So
scammers. Don't listen to them.
Can
Yep.
I just ask a quick question? So what you're saying is to be at the top of the list, right?
Yeah.
When you
Yes.
Google. So if you Google my name, I'm at the top because there is no other.
That is awesome. That's one of the benefits of having a more unique name.
Yeah. So I tell everyone just Google me. and
Yeah,
find me.
that is the best mark. If you tell somebody just Google me, that is worth 1,000 times more than giving someone a business card.
Totally. That's
Yeah, my name is similar, because I'm the only one of them.
That's
I'm
yeah.
the only one that I know of in the world.
But
That is
mine,
awesome.
but does it pop, what happens when you put up street photographer? Eric Kim's name comes up.
Yeah.
Well, it's just my name, and if you put that in, my profile,
Your profile
is
will
the
come.
first thing that's at the top.
Yeah. So, do you want to know how I became #1 on Google for street photography? Do you want to know the secret?
I'll be blind.
So if you Google street photography, I think I'm either #1 or #2. I usually just kind of.
I'll find out.
You'll find out.
Yeah.
So the way to get on top of Google higher up, it's the way it works. It's actually the algorithm is based on academia. So the more people who link to your website, it's the same thing as academia. The more people who quote
one?
your articles, yes.
#1.
yay.
So there's a saying. It's very trite, but content is king. Content is king. That means so write the information or share the information or share the art, whatever, that you consider the most high quality, valuable, or interesting. Do not write this for robots. The mistake that a lot of people do in SEO, keywords, tags, that's all bullshit.
Google can tell the difference.
Google is smart. So maybe 10 years ago, it was very easy to fool Google. Now, you just had to put out good shit. Make good shit and put out good shit, okay? Also, a very important aspect is sharing it. This is my tip. When in doubt, overshare. Okay? So, obviously, and once again, guys, this is all just my personal opinion. Don't listen to me. Okay? When in doubt, overshare. The reason why I say this is that many of us as artists, many of us who are a little bit averse to advertising and marketing because we are taught that they're evil people like the used car salesman, we're hesitant to share our work. We're hesitant to share our work because we're afraid of being judged negatively. We're afraid of sharing our work because we might be seen as like sleazy salesmen. Or a lot of it is just, we're just kind of insecure about our own work. My saying to you guys is, if you think there's even one human being on planet Earth who could benefit from your pictures, your video, your words, your blogs, whatever, it's worth publishing. Okay? When you blog, you don't have to write words. You can upload a video, you can upload an inspirational quote, whatever it is. Treat blogging like a visual diary. I really like this term, visual diary. Because raise your hand if you've ever tried to keep a blog or a regular diary with words and you can't just keep it up. Okay? A visual diary is a diary of pictures. And raise your hand if you take pictures.
Everybody?
One practical assignment I'll give you guys. I recommend everyone to make your own platform, website, blog, either through paid options, bluehost.com, 101.com, and using the WordPress.org platform, or tonight for free, WordPress.com. This is my assignment to you. For 1 month, don't upload any of your pictures to Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Only upload to your own blog. And you can still share a link to your blog on social media and Twitter or whatever, but do not host it on Facebook or Instagram. And therefore, it'll give people an incentive to go to your website. The more people who visit your website, the higher your Google rankings will become. In terms of becoming #1 for Google Street Photography, it took me 7 years and close to 2,500 blog posts, which is average. I think it's on average 1 to 2 blog posts a day. And whenever I write a blog post, I try to write information that I would like to read. a lot of it is luck and timing. Because when I started my blog on street photography, there's no other blogs on street photography. So honestly, I'm sorry. At this point, you're probably not gonna take my throne. I'm sorry, but you could be number one Google for New York street photography, or you could be number one for like, you know, black and white street photography, or in the more niche you become, like black and white New York street photography. They call this the long tail. The more specific you could do, the better. So my suggestion is, do not try to become number one in Google for general terms like street photography. Be very niche. So it's easier for me to become number one Google for Berkeley candid street photography than just street photography. So start very small with this very small niche. Very, very small niche. And then you want to get like bigger. So let's say, so this is like a good business idea, you can steal this. What if you did something like your website's focused on writing articles about candid, street style family portraiture? I bet you nobody's written about that. You gotta find the hidden opportunities and things people have not written about.
Bodega cats.
Oh my
Bodega
God.
cats.
I love that.
Okay, one of the reasons why I'm actually doing articles on digital medium format photography or street photography, 99% people do not own a digital medium format camera yet, but I predict in the next 5 years, these things will cost like $2,000. And everyone and their kid mother is gonna. Do you remember when DSLRs first came out? No one owned one. Now you can buy one for $300. So my savvy photography, social media marketing, blogging strategy is, I want to become number one in Google for digital medium format photography. I'm planting the seeds because 5 years from now, everyone's gonna have one of these. Even now, I don't know anyone else who owns these. And
I thought it was filmed. I literally thought that that's what it was, because I know them as a film
Do
camera.
you think the form factor will get smaller at that point?
yeah, no, even right now, Hasselblad just came out with a digital medium format camera, which is smaller than most digital cameras.
about this big.
It's only $8,000. My prediction, my prediction is 5 years down the line, that'll be $4,000. Another 5 years, it'll be like $2,000.
So you'll be the spokesperson in the ad.
No, it will.
But Fuji will
Hasselblad
make
got
it.
bought out by a Chinese drone maker, DJI.
right.
DJI, so it will get cheaper. And even Fujifilm, they just came out with a digital medium
Yeah,
format,
they
which
just
is
came out with
$7,000,
one,
which once again is very expensive, but 5-10 years down the line. So essentially what I'm trying to ask you guys is find very small niche opportunities. Build your very, very small community. Your first community only needs to be 5 to 10 people. Then as time goes on, grow that community. And honestly, once again, guys, a lot of it is luck, I'm sorry. If you're not at the right place at the right time, you're not gonna win. But the harder you work and the more you put yourself out there and the more confident, brave you are, the higher you increase your chance of success. And trust me, even once you're on top, the top's a bit lonely and a little bit boring. You always have to move on to the next big thing. If Apple only made the same iPhone for the rest of their lives, would Apple succeed as a company? No. There always has to change and evolve. And all of you guys I see are constantly changing and evolve artists. So please, please, please do not get stuck in a creative rut where you're doing the same shit over and over again for like 10 years. You guys know Henri Cartier-Bresson? He's essentially the godfather of street photography. You know he actually retired photography after 30 years? He gave up his camera and he painted for the rest of his life. And his paintings were like nowhere as good as his photos. The theory why he quit is because he never reinvented himself. Only black and white Leica 50mm decisive moment type of photography. He got bored. I think he just got bored. A better example is Joseph Koudelka, Josef Koudelka. Every 10 or 20 years he reinvented himself. So he shot wide angle pictures of gypsies or Roma people. Then he started traveling Leica 35mm. Now he's actually shooting panoramic landscape pictures. And he's actually shot I think Leica actually made him a custom digital wide panoramic camera. And he also shoots film too. So he's the most prolific artist I know because he was willing to reinvent himself. In music, anyone know David Bowie?
Mhm.
Bowie?
Yeah.
Bowie.
How did he reinvent himself?
Many different personas.
Many different personas. How about Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
He first started off with the na, 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 and then he went that.
Mm-hmm.
Did that make people happy?
Some of us.
Some of us. But for a lot of people, what did it do to them?
Upset.
Upset.
Very upsetting.
Who are some other good examples of artists who have reinvented themselves?
Picasso did it.
Madonna. Who else?
Mhm.
Picasso.
Picasso.
Yeah, Picasso's the best.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Do not become a self-tyrant. That say, I only shoot black and white. I only shoot decisive moment. I only shoot Fujifilm or Leica or whatever. Give yourself the freedom to change and evolve. Once again, from yesterday's presentation, consistency and variety. Consistent within a certain period of time or a project, but variety over time. If you live 10,000 years, would you want to shoot the same type of pictures for 10,000 years? I don't think so. So give yourself the freedom to change and evolve. Another practical ways you guys could become more famous or spread your seed, guest blog posts on more popular platforms. So all of you guys who have done my workshop, now you know me and Cindy. I recommend you use the Eric Kim blog to upload more new pictures. If me and Cindy see that you guys are making really great pictures, or you guys put out a great photo book, whatever, and we really like it, of course, it's in my best interest to promote your guys' work, because it's like, oh, you know, JTS has done an Eric Kim workshop and his alumni. If you attend his workshop, you can be as great as her. So of course I'm gonna promote the shit out of you, right?
Eric,
It's in my best
it's
interest.
the forum. You said the blog.
Oh, the forum.
Yeah. You should write it.
What did I say?
You said the blog. That was
Oh,
included.
No pressure, Jen.
Eric
No
Kim,
pressure.
Kim forum. So yeah, just rather than uploading your pictures wherever, yeah, join the Eric Kim forum. Just Google it
That's
and
cool.
upload your pictures there. Because once again, I want to help. So you might not even have to build your own platform or blog or do all this other stuff. Just focus on making good pictures and just share it with us. Yeah.
Question about a website.
Yes. Answer.
Should you mix art forms on one website or have separate art websites per art form? And how many portfolios should you have on your photo?
Excellent question. If you make your own platform website, the easiest thing is firstname.lastname.com. After that, it could be first name, middle name, last name.com, or even first name, last name, photo.com. If you're a visual artist doing multiple types of art, you can just do first name, last name, art.com. My personal suggestion, limit your portfolio to 3 projects. Less is more. And I think it's fine to put all your different art forms on the same site. Another suggestion I would give too, limit each set to about 10 to 12
Limit each what?
portfolio.
Yeah.
10 to 12. That's my suggestion. Because I don't know about you, I don't have time or patience to look through someone's 100 pictures. Once again, do what you would like to have done to you. So if I go to someone's website and they have like 10 sets, I'm not looking at any of them. If they have 3, yes. If I see someone has more than 10, 15, 20 pictures and they're not all great shots, I'm like, they just did not have the ability to edit down.
Well, and obviously, if your portfolio is really tight and really amazing, and someone is further interested in your work, you're producing this amazing blog where you're talking about your process and sharing pictures and sharing the less good ones and talking about the lessons you learned, which means they're gonna dig deeper.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't turn them off by overwhelming them.
Yeah, you're totally right. Another way to stay prolific as an artist or a photographer your whole life, be anti-perfection. Fuck perfection. There is no such thing as perfection. Raise your hand if you're kind of a perfectionist. I think in some ways it's kind of a good thing, but in a lot of ways, if it prevents you from being prolific, I think it's a bad thing. We're constantly in a state of flux. We're always changing and evolving. You wouldn't call a tree perfect. It's constantly growing. It's constantly changing. It's constantly putting down the roots and drawing nutrition from different sorts of art and inspiration, right? You want to be prolific until you're 120 years old as an artist. You don't want to die. Only thing we want to avoid as artists is to die. And you know the Bob Dylan quote, if you're not busy being born, you're busy dying?
Mhm.
If you're not busy being born, so if every day you're not rebirthing yourself into a new thing, you're actually dying. Avoid death by constantly growing and living. You guys pretty inspired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're
You
gonna
said